Hello, welcome to our yet another episode for Advancing Northeast, where we are doing career talk with different personas, and we are covering from the state of Sikkim, and today we're with someone very special who has not only influenced the state of Sikkim but also the hills, the neighboring hills that covers Sikkim, that is, Darjeeling, Korsiong, Kalimpong, and also the nearest plain to us and city to us, that is Siliguri. And Mrs. Siddhant Chettri has been working as a managing director for Lakme Academy, based in Siliguri, because Siliguri is the gateway point for all our hills here right now. And we are really excited to have you here between in our career talk today. So welcome to our show. And before going to this talk, we'll be talking about very different, interesting stuff today, because when we talk about careers and, all the stuff right here, it's not just, we are living in a century where it's not just about academic fields. There are so many, skills, fields where skills are more important, and it gives you so much stepping stones, and it reaches you to so many different places, and it gives you success as well. So we are here with the right person today who's been involved in this particular field. So Mr. Siddhant Chettri, could you please give a short introduction about yourself?
First of all, thank you, Manny, for interviewing me. And I'm so sorry on such a short notice. I have to get everything ready. All right. So,
It's
if I
okay.
need to talk about myself, I did my education in the hills in Darjeeling. After that, I went abroad to Switzerland, where I pursued my BBA, which is a Bachelor's in Business Administration. All right. And once I did that, I came back home, and then my mom always had this dream of starting a beauty salon. All right, but then later we
Mhm.
decided that instead of doing a beauty salon, why don't we get into actually teaching our kids and our students to the beauty world, introducing them to the beauty world. Because if you see everywhere around India, most of the talented beauticians, or let's say hairdressers, are mostly from the Northeast. If you
Exactly.
see Lakme Fashion Week, all right, if you see Lakme Fashion Week, the backstage is always being done mostly by the people from Northeast. The people from Northeast, like, we are really, let's say, creative and really talented when it comes to, beauty in terms of makeup, hair, skin. We are really talented. So most of the, creative work for the beauty industry actually comes from the Northeast. So based on that, we were like, we should, actually help the students and help our people from Northeast to actually grow into the beauty industry in a much more easier way, instead of them going all the way to, let's say, bigger cities like Calcutta or to Delhi or Mumbai to learn. We should be able to provide all this facility right at our doorstep. So that's how we came into you know mm, running an academy for Lakme year. So that's how we started.
So how long has it been since you started your academy?
So it's been around, this will be the fifth year running. All right, but during this fifth year, we had our challenges as well. During COVID times,
Mhm.
our academy was closed for nearly 2 years. All right,
Mhm.
so keeping that apart, if you see, my academy has only been running for the last 3 years. All right,
Mhm.
because 2 years of COVID was really, really stressful. Because as you see, our academy is not academy where you can just learn. It's actually
Mhm.
skill-based learning. So most of the teachings has to be
Exactly.
done by hand. All right. So if our students cannot come to the center and use their hands to learn the skill, then it becomes very difficult. We cannot just do it
Mhm.
online. We need like constant, a teacher or a mentor to be standing behind a student and actually help them learn. So it's skill based.
Okay, so yes, definitely, that is the main aspect to it. It uses more of a skill. I mean, more of a skill is getting exercise throughout the process. So, I mean, you've done a you're doing a phenomenal job handling such an administration, as you have really good experience, and yourself. from places, not only from here, but you've went outside, got that exposure and everything, and you've tried to, now you're implying over the hills right now. So just for a person, for a new student, for example, who is interested in this particular field, it's not just about, I'm sure it's not just about, hair and makeup. It's, I mean, more to it. It's not just, those things. So can you just brief us about what were things are there for us, for a student to, or a person who wants to pursue this particular industry, and what is there to it? It's just we see the cover of it, right? It's just we see hair and makeup, but I'm sure there are more of the science and, education involved to it. So can you please take us through that?
I'm,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
so sorry, Manny. I'm so sorry. So, like I was saying, when it comes to our, in our field, for I
Mhm,
think it's not, like you said, it's not just hair and makeup, all right? So, like our
mhm,
students, once they finish like our training, it's not like they have to be placed in a salon, or or in a studio whatsoever. So right now, these days, if you see, the ones who learn hair and makeup, there's actually a lot of opportunities in terms of even getting into the movie industry. All right,
mhm,
we have the film industry as well, where hair and makeup is required. All right, there's like beauty pageants going on. They require, like, artists, I would say. All right, so more than when we say hairdresser, or a or a beautician, we don't call them just hairdressers, we call them artists. All right, because
mhm,
what work they do is actually also a part of art. It takes a lot of time to curate it. All right, so
mhm,
when you see, these artists are required not only in salons these days. All right, for every little thing, actually, there is a need of beauticians and makeup artists today. All right, not in,
mhm,
like I said, they get chance into movies. There's chance into even, short movies of, like I told, pageants. Then there's some of the students, they even go and become trainers themselves. All right, I have a lot
mhm,
of students
mhm.
of mine who've actually done training from us and gone back to their hometown and started academies of their own. All right,
Wow.
so
Okay.
I'll be very, like, if you see, uh, the beauty industry is actually very vast. All right, if
Mhm,
you see, there are a lot of upcoming salons that are coming everywhere. All right, and most of the
mhm,
salons are, always running, because, to be honest, there's a lot of
mhm,
profit when it comes to running like doing a salon industry and in the beauty industry.
mhm,
If you see, right from morning when we wake up, we always use some product of, from the beauty industry, right from soaps to face wash, to shampoos to conditioners.
mhm,
Everything is a part of the, beauty industry at the moment. All right, so that way, I'll
mhm,
say the beauty industry is really vast. People, some of the makeup artists, they even work as freelancers. All right, and
mhm, mhm,
I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm bragging, but most of my students, once they finish, in the span of 8 months, they recover back everything that they've
mhm.
actually invested on themselves during the courses.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
we actually provide a lot of, what do you call, activities for the students that help them grow. So recently we had a competition, which was all India, pan India, where all
Mhm,
the students from Lakme Academy, we competed to get the
mhm.
cover of Femina magazine. All
Oh,
right,
wow.
so we
Okay.
competed to get our students in the cover of Femina magazine. So when this happens, what happens is the students get a boost in their career. So, for
Mhm,
example, before, when the makeup industry or the hairdressing industry was not documented, let's say, or didn't have a career course as such, everything was
exactly.
based on
Mhm,
experience. Everything was based on
mhm,
experience. So if a makeup artist took 10 years to make the career, what we do is we try to help our students to cut down their progress rate by at least 5 years. Within 5 years, they should be
mhm,
able to reach a very good platform. Hence, we've
mhm,
done the competition for Femina magazine. And recently, in the month of January, we'll be having another competition, which is going to be done all India. All right. So one of the groups will
mhm,
get to go and compete in Goa. So when they compete
Mhm.
in Goa, they get to curate a look for the top designers called Samad Chahan. They'll be doing a curated look for Samad Chahan, and the winner of the competition gets to work in a feature film of Fawad Khan.
Oh,
Right.
that's big,
So
yeah.
all of those are there, yeah. And as for skin, they get to do an 6-month internship with Dermalogica, which is one of the top leading brands in America when it comes to, cosmetic dermatologist, certified
Mm.
cosmetics. So that way, we really push our students to take all of this. So these
Oh.
days, it's not only just working in the salon, it's,
Mhm.
the glamour industry is also a part of it, there is, even education in terms of skills-based learning is also a part of it. It's a very, like a huge opportunity, I would say.
All in all, it just sounds very big to me. I mean, someone who is, foreign to this, all the stuff, it feels, there is opportunities right at every doorstep. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of challenges, that's evident. But once you get through it, I'm pretty sure a person who have interest. I mean, this sort of what academy you're running is should be very much, popularized, or let's say made aware to students, especially when they're making career decision in their higher school. If they want to, what happens if they pursue fields which they're not interested at, right? So if they get interested, they have sort of interest in this field, they should definitely come and, get acquainted, or go through this stuff. I mean, it would be really helpful. Okay, so okay, first, how, I mean, if you can explain us, how long does this course, or how many different types of course, or what is the structure for this, for someone who wants to pursue this field at academy like this.
Mhm. So as you can see, like I told you, right, I feel like the students from Northeast, let's say most of us
Mhm.
from Northeast, like I told you, we are very creative, so we are very good with our hands. All right,
Mhm.
more than, say, just book learning. All right, I think skill-based learning is something that it suits us really well. All right, it really complements us. Let's say that.
Mhm.
All right, so in terms of our course, we have three major courses. Four
Mhm.
major courses. All right, one is just makeup, advanced makeup artistry. Then we have our skin. All right, then we have hair designs and updo. That includes everything. And then we have
Mhm.
cosmetology. So cosmetology is like, it's everything put together. You do hair, skin, makeup, and nails as well. All right, so we have nail art included as well. So cosmetology is 12-month program. All right, it's a 12-month program.
Mhm.
It's 1 year, I would say. And makeup is, for advanced makeup, it's 2 months. All right,
Mhm.
and for hair is 6 months, and for skin
Mhm.
is 6 months. All right, and the way how this has been structured is very, I think it's very student friendly. All right, especially
Mhm.
for for the people from Northeast, based on even our, the economic structure, and based on, the finances of every students, keeping all that in mind, we've actually structured it in a very friendly way. For example, let's say a student who would like to enroll for a 2 months program for makeup. All right, so if the student wants to join in the month of January, he or she can make a partial payment in the month of December. All right. So when you make a
Oh,
partial
okay.
payment in the
Mhm.
month of December, then there's another partial payment in the month of January, and then the
Mhm.
last payment would be done on the month of February. And the student will be giving an exam on the month of March. So basically, what we've done is we've broken the fee structure on onto
Mhm.
three segments, or let's say in three slabs. So in
Mhm.
terms of, in payment, it can be done in three deposits. That way, it is not so much of a financial burden to the parents also, and to the
Mhm.
students as well. It is something that
Mhm.
is possible. All right.
Mhm.
And once the examination, so it depends. If it's makeup, it's for 2 months. If it's a 12-month program, again, we've broken down payment for, let's say, 10 months. All right. Over a span
Mhm.
of 10 months, they can make partial payments, and they can,
Mhm.
again, pursue their career. So we have structured it
Okay.
in such a way that, like finance should not be one of the reasons for why a student shouldn't, pursue
Mhm.
their career in terms of makeup or hair or skin. All right,
Mhm.
so working on that right now. We are even currently trying to make up, a short-term loan for students. There's a lot of personal, funding where a lot of, not banks, but I would say there's these institutions that provide loans to students at a very, very nominal rate. All right. So we're trying to work with them as well so that the students can at least
Mhm.
pursue their career. So that's there as well. So as you can see, the fee structure, the time of learning is very, very, minimum. And in case if you see, like, I'm not comparing, but in terms of college, right? A student normally, sometimes they would go to college for, let's say, 3 years time. And after 3 years, they start the career opportunity. But in terms of skill-based learning, you just need to invest 6 months,
Mhm.
proper training. And within 6 months, you're already working in the field.
Mhm.
So some of my students, or let's say most of my students, out of 100%, um, we have a, let's say, a career placement rate of 89%. The last
Oh,
time
that's
we
good. Yeah.
calculated, all
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so from 100%, I can say we have 89 placement rate in terms of career, and most of them are doing really well. Right,
Oh.
they are placed. Some of them are already senior stylists in Lakme salons itself. Some of them are already working in Mumbai. They're working on a lot of feature films and featured TV
Mhm.
serials. They're already working there. Right,
Mhm.
some of them are already managers in salons
Mhm.
out of India. So they're doing really well. So that makes me really proud to say that.
Exactly. What I see also from here is, when we talk about career talks and, all these things, what you are doing is you're actually building career out of, making people build their careers. And not only that, it's just so inspiring itself because, I mean, for an institution who is just 3 years young, to have this much of, success and, still more to go, of course, that is there, is very inspiring itself. That means it's a very successful venture right there, what you are doing. And not only it's just a venture, it's just something that new to us where people can go educate themselves and have a better opportunity if you're particularly interested in this field, right? So of course I would want to, we've already talked about your students, achieving great things, but do you have like a very specific testimonial where for one or two you can say a student who has passed graduated from your institution and is doing great thing? I would love to hear that.
Okay, so I think one of my favorite success stories is, we used to have this girl called Ritika. She's from a
Mhm.
Bihari family. She used to have seven sisters, and she's the youngest. So
Mhm.
when she came to enroll in our institution, her parents were very, very skeptical. All right,
Mhm.
because she was one of the youngest and she wanted to pursue her education in the beauty industry. So her
Mhm.
parents were really skeptical because, coming from a very traditional family, they were not
Mhm.
aware of any career in terms of, let's say, the beauty industry. They thought that anybody who works in the beauty industry would just go and work in a parlor. So they literally,
Mhm.
when they came from,
Okay.
when they came to enroll, they were like, "Badi hoki kya karegi? Wo parlor wala
Mhm.
kaam karegi,"
Like a
So they had this,
stereotype.
yes, very stereotype. They were like, "Parlor wala kaam karegi," and we were like, "No, it's nothing like that. There are a lot of other opportunities." But because Ritika was very, very determined to join a institution, her father finally gave in. Right, and then he had a lot of issues at that time because, financially also he was having issues because she had already seven daughters. Right, from seven daughters,
Okay.
she's the youngest.
Mhm.
And if you see
Mhm.
in a traditional Indian family, having a daughter, the parents find it very, like, financially, it's a burden for them. So for him to, pay for the courses was very difficult. So we explained him, to the in we told him to take the what you call installment scheme. We made him understand, right? And then
Mhm.
finally he was very reluctant, but he gave in. So
Mm-hmm.
after she finished her education with us, after 2 months, her training, she got a job in Calabar. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
Calabar,
Okay.
she was working with Calabar in the company, and her starting salary was 15,000. And
Oh, okay.
she's just a class 10 graduate, and she started with 15,000. All right. And after that, within the next 6 months, she had a review. Then I remember it went to 18,000. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, she started taking a lot of freelancing jobs. So one of the best thing about being a makeup artist is you get to take a lot of freelancing jobs, and freelancing jobs are very well paying when it comes to, uh, for a makeup artist in terms of bridal makeup. Like
Mm-hmm.
one bridal makeup could easily go up to 10 to 15,000. It's 3 hours of hard work, and you make around 10 to 15,000. And the last time when I met her, she was like she wanted to quit her job in Calabar, and she wanted to pursue her career as a full-time makeup artist, freelancing. But then I told her not
Wow.
to stop because she just started it. So
Mm-hmm.
when COVID took place, right, her company actually took care of her. So during
Oh,
COVID, though they were
wow.
not able to work, she still used to get,
Mm-hmm.
she still got like around 50% of her salary right from
Wow,
home.
that's great.
So that was really
Mm-hmm.
good. So she's one of my students that I'm really, really proud of. This is actually something we feel really happy about. And
Mm-hmm.
then we had another student. She was from Manipur. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She was a transgender. All right.
Okay.
Her name used to be Junus. She's from Manipur itself. She's a transgender.
Mm-hmm.
She was staying in Goa. So she traveled all the way with her, let's say, with her boyfriend. She traveled all the way from Goa. They drove to Siliguri, and while she was in Siliguri, she decided to actually study, do a course in our institution. So
Mm-hmm.
her boyfriend paid for all the expenses for her, and then she did finish her course. And after she finished her course, right now she's actually there in Manipur running her own salon,
Oh,
and she's doing.
wow.
So, in our institution, like since we are into not only the makeup industry, let's say the beauty industry and the glamour industry, we always, we motivate all our students to be who they are and as they are, because I feel that way creativity flows in better,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So these are just
These
few
are
of
really
the
yeah, these
sorry.
are really, I'm pretty sure there are more of it. I mean, but due to our time, restraint, we have to, stick to. I mean, these two are really great testimonials, inspiring as well. So, okay, now coming back to, the thing is, okay, the education, I mean, for the training, to for a person to do training at your institution or any other institution, let's say, but specifically at institution like yours, okay, at yours. So what is there a person has to need to have some sort of education qualification, or all those things are required, or that person has to finish his college or high school, or is it some sort of restraint is there? Can you please explain us?
See, to be honest, like I told you, this is skill-based learning. All right, you need to be good with
Mm-hmm.
your hands. So it does not matter if you are not the brightest in class. All right, your grades does
Okay.
not matter. All right, but what I would suggest is normally most of the students that join, I always at least one criteria we put is at least should be class 10 pass. All right. Of course, we have students who are not even class 10 pass, but I feel like 10 study is very important because at least it becomes slightly easier for us to get them placements. I feel if they have at least done class 10 qualifications, at least they'll be able to speak well, communicate well with the clients. All right. So that way placements becomes better. But if there are any candidates who are not even class 10 pass, we at least make sure that they can at least speak proper Hindi or at least proper English. Like we prefer at least they can talk at least two languages, Hindi and English. Because in the end of the day, for the beauty industry, for the glamour, I think, communication and speaking skill is one of the most important criteria, more than the qualification. If you can really speak well and can connect with the clients, then I think that is really good for us. But I put one criteria, that is at least should be class 10 plus. That way it just becomes slightly easier with placements for us. But like I told you, if there's a student who's exceptionally good in communication, then we do make exceptions.
Okay, so I
So
mean,
that's
all in all, it sounds great. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of students and fellow friends from our Northeast, from especially from our hills, are going to watch this interview, and I'm pretty sure they would be interested to pursue. I mean, some people are just clueless, but now they are known of this training and every this program. So, how can, someone enroll at your institution? I mean, where is it located? Can you please give us a little bit brief about that?
so you see, my institution is located in Siliguri. All right. The reason why we chose Siliguri is, as you know, like the northeast area, like Siliguri is the bottleneck to the
Mhm,
northeast. All right. Everything that goes right from raw materials to food to clothing, everything that
mhm,
goes to any part of the northeast, let's say to the Seven Sisters, or including Sikkim, everything that goes actually passes through Siliguri. All right,
mhm,
everybody comes to Siliguri for all their purchases. All right, and most of the institutions are based here in Siliguri only. So strategically, also, it is very beneficial for us. All right, because most of the
definitely.
people, they filter through Siliguri. So based on that, we are based in Siliguri. All right, and like you said, for enrollments, it's very simple. You just need to bring one of your ID cards, Aadhaar card, or your voter's ID card, and if you have your class 10 certificate, that would be great. All right, we would request them. Normally, what we do is we request them to come to the institution, take a tour of the institution, see what their interests are, and then we sit down and then we talk about all the career opportunities that come with every course that they decide to take. All right, we always recommend all students to take more than one course because knowing more than one is always better. Right. So based on that, we help them guide. We ask them, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What do you want to do? Do you want to be an amazing hairdresser, or do you want to be an amazing makeup artist? In terms of hairdressing, also, we always tell the students, you don't have to be the best person who can cut hair. If you're not good at cutting hair, then be the best colorist that's there. If you're not the best colorist, then be the best technician that can at least do a proper straightening or a curling, etc., etc. So even in hairdressing, there's a lot of different lines. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so as we are coming and we have only few minutes left. Okay, I would love to know. You said what is you ask your students where do they see it in 5 years from now. So you're running a very legitimate academy. I see a lot of training, workshop taking place here and there, but an institution like yours is running very successfully and legitimately, and we advancing north this year. Very happy to get involved with you for this session, right? So I would love to ask you, what is the future for your academy in of in few years down the line?
Let's see. For my academy is, see, for first of all, for us to function in the northeast area is still difficult because there's a lot of stereotypes. They still say that if you learn salon, like let's say a skill for hair and makeup, you, like I told you, they work in the parlor. All right. So right now, I would say changing the minds of the people is still difficult. All right, we are working on that as well. But if we talk about the my goals for the institution in the future is, I would really like my institution to at least be one of the best that's there in Northeast, and I want to really make sure that we can promote our talents there in India, let's say all over India, in a more quicker span, like how I told you, right? The before, like everything based in salon-based learning should be through experience. So if a hairdresser took 10 years to reach, let's say, a level of a trainer, I want my students to reach there in the next 5 years, right? I want names, for Lakme Fashion Week, I want names of our people to come in terms of one of the most creative hairstylists or one of the most creative, makeup artists. I want our students' names to be coming up there. I just feel like, our students are so, like our people here are so talented, but when it comes to actually going out and representing themselves, they don't do it. like the work is there, but the credit is always taken by someone else. Same thing in, even in Lakme Fashion backstage, it's always like that. The work is theirs, but it's always the head of the group that gets all the credit, though they work under the team. But so I want our people to be there. And as for the academy, I would like to, include a few more branches. All right, right now we are very limited to just, let's say, beauty, hair, and skin. We later would like to put, uh, eyelash extensions and maybe even, microbleeding. So those are all the later things that we want to include in our academy as well. So basically, let's say in the next few years, I want my academy at least to be the one-stop destination, learning everything that's there in the beauty industry.
Wow. I hope
Right.
that will pretty sure come true because the way you're working, you're doing a phenomenal job, and we have a lot of other things to ask and a lot of other things to talk, but today we are bounded by our, restricted by our time. But anyways, I'm pretty sure
Yes,
we
Manny,
will.
and there's one more. I'm so sorry. There's one more thing. So right now, what we are even trying is, I think this is going to happen very soon. All right. So
Okay.
we're going to soon have even campus hiring. So there are a lot of
Oh,
companies, a
okay.
lot of, a chain of salons who would like to actually, they want to come to our institution and, start hiring the students right from our campus itself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all thanks to my pass out students. So my pass out
Mm-hmm.
students have been selected by this Evox salon chain there in the south side of India. There's a chain of Evox
Mm-hmm.
salon. But the Evox salon people were so impressed by most of my students that have been coming out. That they said that for the next time we would like to actually come to the campus and do campus hiring as well.
That's
So that is
great.
something we're looking forward to.
Oh, that's great. So I hope, all those things happen and we'll definitely meet our next, talk or whatever opportunity we get. And thank you so much, Mr. Siddhant, for your wonderful time. I'm pretty sure you're much in a hurry. And thank you for so much knowledgeable ideas and, um, inspirational things you give us. And we'll see you soon. And thank you so much for this wonderful time you gave us. And we are happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fanny, for the opportunity. Bye bye.